one of the things I did want to comment on, I mean, I could comment on what everyone has said, but particularly Jules, Lewis, you know, your work in the hospitals. In my experience, what I have, the information I have gained from other online sites, bereavement.co.uk, for example, the hospitals are often really, really poor, or have been, at being able to support people or even knowing what to say. It was certainly my experience. I lost my husband very, very suddenly. I came into the house and he was gone. That's my partner, husband of more than 45, 46 years. And I had a lot of, I called up some friends immediately as well as the obviously the emergency services, and I did CPD for 20 minutes, but it was a cardiac arrest, a little blood clot in the blood vessel, undetected heart disease, and so on. Sorry.
It's all right.
Yeah, so sorry.
Anyway, yes, it's funny, isn't it? The triggers that sometimes kick in. Anyway, I was then, because I had chest pains from doing the CPD for 20 minutes, I got taken off to the hospital, and you're just left sitting there for a while, just in isolation, until someone comes and checks you out, and then you're sent home. Unfortunately, I had two friends at home who were there ready for me when I got back. But I mean, after that, I was just totally on my own, because we didn't have family. I had relatives down south, one or two good friends in the area, thank goodness. And a little while later, after the funeral, I had everything to do myself. After the funeral, I just had such a bad spell. I honestly couldn't believe that I was going to live. It was that bad. And a friend just turned up, as luck would have it, and I was off to the nighttime clinic. And I was briefly put on beta blockers, that sort of thing. And I was given some information from the hospital, and a book list, and the drawing on this printed sheet. It was an effort at being kind, but the drawing on this 18 pages on the front was a chair just sitting there empty. And I thought, this is just dreadful. And the references, everything, it was just awful. And one of the things I thought at the time, and very shortly afterwards, I thought something better has to come out of this. And looking at one or two Facebook pages, bereavement.co.uk, if anyone's come across that, because I only discovered these things, I only discovered the support months later, because I got offered counselling if I wanted it with my local GP, but I completely forgot that. And it, you know, someone else suggested one of the other well-known sites. And so I really just sort of worked my way through this until I began to sort of feel I could communicate a bit on my own. Friends did drop in, but of course people think that after a while you're not too bad, and they certainly think after a year you're okay. But we all know that's not the case. Anyway, bereavement.co.uk, I don't know if anyone here has visited that, but you do hear some such sad, sad stories. And also the failure for people to be able to communicate their feelings to other members in the families, and how many families sort of seem to fall apart, and the also awful rifts that develop in the different families, and breakdowns in communication because people can't share grief. And sorry, I hope I'm all right here. When I look back in the past, I lost my father very suddenly from heart disease when I was 15, and one didn't really talk about things much in those days. And I think that it creates such blocks in people if we're not able to share the emotions, and we're not able to have them recognized. And it creates such long-lasting trauma, PTSD, whatever you like to call it. And this is why this is the driver for me anyway, to try and raise awareness, or help raise awareness of the marvellous work of the Trust in Scotland. Very, very briefly, I would just say that we are looking at the possibilities of pop-up CAFs. We're looking at working through the Community Pharmacy Scotland Society for getting information out through there. One of the things that still concerns me is the NH Trust in Scotland. How do we reach? I know that the Trust has been getting out to all the hospital trusts, NH Trusts, but how do we actually monitor what's going on in the various hospitals and trusts throughout? And of course, the other one is the undertakers and those people who have to are the front line of dealing with those of us who are bereaved. And quite a few of them do have their own publications that can be very helpful to hand out to people. Mine didn't. Everything was so, I felt for the chap who was running the undertaker running the service. But it's so sort of clinical in a way, or can be. And it's just how to get out communication, how to get out if it's okay to feel things, how to get anyone who's having to deal with bereaved people, how to try and respond to them. And when I look back on how I've dealt with, not dealt with, that's the wrong word, but how I failed to support friends, older friends in the past who had lost someone, and one would go and see them, one would help here and help a bit there. But I feel that personally, I fell so far short of really understanding and being able to provide the support. There was always a feeling in the past, well, that's awful, but we have to sort of get on with it. And I recognize now how much more has to be, how much more we need to do.